first guest for my series. So welcome to Conversations with H. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it. But I guess for people that don't know who you are, tell us a bit about David and your story in your own words.
Yeah, sure. So obviously my name is David. I am the owner of the Instagram page Millionaire Incorporated. I have had that page for about 10 years, creating content somewhat steadily the entire time, consistently. I had a few breaks during the time, but I've since moved into the digital marketing space. Originally, I was in the dental field as an oral hygienist, so I was doing that for 12 years. But I wanted to find a way to be able to make money online, to be able to actually leave the dental profession, and not just leave it, but also earn a better kind of living for myself, where I had more freedom to live life more comfortably or more on my terms, so to speak. So when I kind of left dentistry, I started looking at ways to make money online or how to monetize my page. And one of the easiest and best ways without having to sacrifice finances and time was digital marketing. So leveraged my audience and went on with it from there.
Do you think that there was a pivotal moment in your past that made you make the move where you said, you know what, I'm done with working in dental hygiene? I was going to say 9 to 5, but from what you told me yesterday, your hours were far from.
Yeah, so there's like 50 hours a week plus, traveling 4 hours not to and from work. I worked more regional, kind of rural, from a major city centre. So I had to travel 4 hours to go up to work. But the pivotal moment was, so I was always set on doing dentistry and using the income from dentistry to fund property investment, because my family's in property, we're developers. We went bankrupt with that property as well during the GFC, went from $10 million to zero. And I got an interesting kind of bit of a backstory. Had to rebalance myself, find some kind of footing before I got back into property. So during the first 2 or 3 years while I was working away in the dental field, I was down one weekend catching up with some friends, and we were at a bar cafe, and I was speaking to one of the guys there who was with us, and they were very entrepreneurial as well, and we're talking about making money online or how they've actually got this business, you might know it, Unit Clothing Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so one of my friends actually started it. These guys I was talking to actually bought it from one of my other friends.
Okay.
I didn't realise. And they were saying how they make money online. They're making $1 million a month, this, that, and the other.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, money's in email lists. I'm like, what the actual hell? We got this email list, and it's probably worth about $10 million.
Wow.
It just opened my mind up to thinking outside of the regular 9 to 5. And I'm like, hang on a second, what the hell is this, like, internet money making online kind of thing? Or how does somebody get a valuation of $10 million from just emails or a list of emails?
Yeah.
So it kind of started a bit of this journey of trying to find something to do online to make money there. So that was where that kind of started from. I left it alone for a little while, didn't really think anything more of it. Started fiddling around with bits and pieces. Then I had a girlfriend, and she was also very entrepreneurial too, and she was selling makeup supplies online because she was a lash tech, and she, I think, was doing hundreds of thousands a year from that as well. I'm like, okay, this is just mind-blowing. Sorry, before that, I got ahead of myself. That was like the year after. Before that, I need to create some kind of idea where I can monetize the online space.
Yeah.
So I came up with some kind of ideas. Okay, let's try this to make money online. I wanted to be in property, so I thought, okay, how about crowdfunded property investment? I'm sure other people around Australia struggling to get into the property market to invest. Or what other ways can I lower the bar to help people get into the market to buy property and get a decent return from property as well? And I'm sure there's other people who have got $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, probably can't get a loan and still want to get in property and actually invest. So I had the idea, and I was like, okay, I can probably do this online somehow. I had no idea about websites or anything like that, but I knew one of my friends knew about websites, so I contacted him going, hey dude, what's the go with websites? How can you go set up this, that, and the other? This is my idea, because I love the idea. Let's build something. So we created this website, a forum for it as well, like a chat, like a Reddit style forum. We ended up having the number 2 Google searched mortgage calculator.
Was there SEO done to push it up the
It
search
was.
engines?
So my friend was like more like the tech side, but he understood all that, and he had a few other friends who he knew about as well from the tech side. And we can start a blog, write some articles, put them up, have the forum so people can come there and start chatting. We can engage on the forum as well. Then he took care of the SEO stuff. So I'm not too sure exactly what he did SEO-wise, but he had a really kick-ass SEO. We were getting 4,000 hits a day on our website.
That's pretty impressive for traffic on any site. And how old was the business?
This was within a few weeks to like a month or two.
Generally, it takes about 3-6 months before you start to see effects of the work that you're doing behind the scenes.
Probably like 6 weeks to a couple of months. It was pretty quick. And we didn't use social media. We didn't pay for ads. It was just pure organic traffic. So then from that, it was like, okay, there's something here. I can do something with this. Then we kind of let it go for a little while because I was the one writing the articles for it. I ran out of ideas. Then he couldn't come up with ideas either, or he just couldn't help in that sense. So we kind of let it die, just let it go. So I kind of started like trying to think of something to do online. Then the following year, like when I started dating this girl, I don't know, we were just sitting online, and this is just like when Instagram became
a thing,
more mainstream, so a bit more of a thing. So I decided to jump online, obviously fiddling around with following my own friends and scrolling mindlessly. And I came across this page saying $0 to $1 million and how he's documenting his journey from the year. I'm like, what the actual hell? I could see people engaging and following and liking, and it was getting an insane amount of traffic. Okay, what's something I can do on social media which can bring people to me and I guess build an audience? And I didn't think much more of it. I didn't think of how am I going to monetize this, how am I going to do this. It's just, okay, let's start posting. Just started posting quotes. It was basically a quote meme page. Haphazardly, I was rubbish at it and started posting. Then I came across some guys saying, hey, if you want to join an engagement group to help you grow your page, send me a DM. I said, a comment. Like, okay, so I sent him a comment. He's joined me on WhatsApp, Kick, back in the day. Jumped on Kick. He's setting up this group. These are the rules. You have to be consistent. You have to do this. This is what we're doing. Like, all right, sweet. So I was in a group of 5 people, and then we started sharing content, like engaging with each other, sharing each other, shouting each other out, and it just blew up. I grew to 170,000 followers in a year from scratch without really knowing anything of what I was doing.
So there was no real strategy per se. It was just an organic approach. One thing led to another. Before you know it, you're in this Kick group. And from there, it was someone else within that space that was supporting you in your journey as you were with them. And then naturally it just evolved, and here you are now sitting on how many? What is it?
148,000 at the moment. So I've lost a few thousand. I've dropped down to, I think, 130 something at one point.
Yeah.
Rebuilt it to 160, then dropped down to 140 again, then rebuilt it to 150. And I'm tweaking a few things. I'm playing around, repositioning myself within the space. As a result, I'm losing some followers because they followed me for one style of content, one kind of message, and I just literally pivoted on the spot, literally 90-degree turn, completely different direction, not a slow, it's like, no, bang, different direction, let's go. So I've done it a few times. I'm doing it again at the moment.
What do you think contributes to that? Do you think that you're very in tune with yourself and what you need to do next?
So I've always wanted more. I think because of the life I had before, we went bankrupt, and having then to go to a job like 4 hours away from home in a regional town where everyone was a retiree in like the 60s and 80s, and I was indoors constantly, wasn't able to, I was literally a 300 by 400 mil window, it's like 30 centimeters by 40 centimeters, or 8 inches by 12 inches, something like that, whatever. That was literally my only view of outside, and it was a pain in the ass being able to see outside. It was a nice clear day, and opening my phone and seeing my friends going to cafes, going out for lunches, and this is not the life I want. So that's where the internal desire, I need to do something different to get the life I want to have. With what I've done, I supported my family with it. So that's why I stayed up working away for 12 years, because I ended up buying the family homes after going bankrupt. After my parents went bankrupt, it was all on my income. So I did have to support it. But okay, no, I need something for myself. I need to be able to create something for myself. I can have my own path. But within the online space, how do I put it? I felt like it wasn't serving me anymore. It was like, okay, I've got this kind of audience, and okay, I was creating this kind of content, and I need to pick up on the different changes and shifts within the content space itself and what's working. So you become a student of content and student of the space. Like, you're constantly looking at other people's content, seeing what they're doing differently, constantly seeing what people are engaging with, seeing what grows faster. And it's okay, this is no longer serving me, I need to shift. But at the same time, when I shifted, I'm like, hang on a second, what I was doing isn't really what I'm sitting with anymore. For me, it was like more of an observation of what's working. And then my current shift, it was one of my coaches, he goes, dude, you are the product. I'm like, what? He's like, you've had the experience, you've got the results, you've done everything. Sell yourself. I'm like, all right, okay. So like when I speak to people about content and stuff, and beginners, and even people like someone have some level of experience, and I can go, look, I can tell you exactly why the piece of content didn't do well. Like there's probably a few factors, and then I explain to them, show them, and they're like, oh, right. I was actually speaking to someone this morning, in the DMs, who's, I wouldn't say a student of mine, but she's bought one of my digital marketing products, my ebook, to do content, and I've given her some kind of tips and tricks. She goes, thanks to you in the ebook, my content has gone from a few hundred reach to 2,800 reach. And it's just like, okay. And then even with other students, I was like, she's asking me about her content. I was like, she just pointed out, like, it's very flat. It's very short. You're not giving a full picture. It doesn't engage someone to actually do any more, rather than just look at it and go, whatever, and scroll past. So it's definitely, I would say, a skill which I've developed in being able to look at content and go, I know exactly why that did well and who I was speaking to and why I was speaking to them. Even one of my other students, almost 6 months ago, probably not the best. She was all right, but she wanted to go down a certain path. Okay, if you want to go down that path, you need to have what I call fuck yeah content.
What is fuck yeah content? You can swear on it.
So where people internally say F yeah, because
fuck yeah, you trigger something within, resonate with it, and you're grabbing their attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
would you say that's the one thing that you wish you had known before starting this business? Is that the one thing that you wish you knew back then that you know now?
There's a lot of things which I wish I knew about when I first started, because especially in digital marketing, because it was so different to what I had been doing before.
Yeah.
Like not just dentistry, within the online space, because when I was making money when I first started, I was selling shout outs. So people would go, hey, can you promote my page on your page? Yeah, sure, $200.
Wow.
I was actually paying $200 a post. It was
$200 to get a shout out.
Do a shout out. I can shout out my page. Like, yeah, no worries, $200. Yep, sweet. Send me the money. Hey, follow this person. That was it.
And they would get the follows in return. Like you would see the results that would create.
Initially, so then because what I ended up finding is that model as well would slowly die off, because here's something which I speak about to my students, or I think I mentioned in one of my ebooks. I actually speak about how we become desensitized to certain pieces of content, certain kind of advertising styles and stuff as well. Yeah. So think back to the early days of the internet, we used to have banner ads, and they were the bee's knees for advertising. They were low cost, cheaper acquisition of customers. You have a banner ad to have some promotion at the top, and people would click it and you get a lead or a sale or whatever. Over time, people get so desensitized to seeing it, they just go past. Then the next iteration of that was pop-up ads, where they just pop up and you have to close the ad to actually progress to the page, or if they really want to be a pain in the backside, you need to enter your email, become a lead for them before you actually view the site. So just leave me alone. Yeah. So then you become desensitized to that.
But they still do that now, though, don't they? On websites, do you think they do it differently? Is it a different
differently? They do it differently.
Okay.
Yeah. And then same thing with content. Let's say, what was working? So about 2 years ago, we all saw the pieces of content which were the side hustle pieces of content. Was if you do this side hustle to make $4,000 a week online or a month, whatever it was, and it was like all those kind of pieces of content. Now, when they first came out, they did amazingly, but then over time, people become desensitized to it. They become so used to seeing it that they scroll past. They see it, they know exactly what someone's going to say, and they scroll past. And it's like, okay, whatever. And the same thing with regular kind of content trends, where you do see some trends, and when it first happens, oh my God, I got to watch this piece of this content, this trend. Then you see another one, you consume it. Then as the trend progresses or ages, you don't pay as much attention, you scroll past it. So it's a constant game where you're having to pay attention to what's going on. Understanding content and how to build an audience, how to keep creating something new, as well as how to convert that audience, because I had to learn every facet of it along the way. How to speak to people in the DMs, how to get them to jump on a call, how to initially get people to my page, because one of the things I struggled with when I jumped into digital marketing was I had no audience. Because I left my page stagnant for a year. When I came back and started those side hustle videos, my audience was in India and Africa, and Stripe, or the product I was actually promoting, actually had to ban those regions from purchasing, so I couldn't actually make any sales anyway, regardless of if I had an audience or not. So I had to figure out a way to reposition myself with my content within the space.
Do you feel that all the pivoting that you're, correct me if I'm wrong, but quite proactive in, it sounds like you're a student of content, like you mentioned, so you're always studying, observing, analysing, sitting back, what's happening, what's working, what's not going to be working. Do you think that's what's supported your success versus someone that maybe tunnel vision in, this is my target market, this is what I do, and this is all I'm going to do, and I'm just going to go deeper into that content pillar, as opposed to someone like yourself where you're always on the go, always pivoting, always studying, always seeing what's working, what can you try next?
Being a student definitely gave me an advantage. Like I look at things and ask myself, why did this work? So one thing I think I've been good at is, like you said, being a student of content and also success. I ask myself, why did someone's page do so well in such a short period of time? So I'd go, even if they have 1,000 posts, I'll go right back to the start and go, okay, how did they start off? What was their messaging? What was their objective when they first started? What was their objective initially to get to it from point A to point B? And it's one of the things which I speak about in one of my videos in my private group, in my ebook as well, in my course which I'm creating, is I call it the content funnel, where it's like you got top of content funnel, middle of the content funnel, bottom of the content funnel. And they all have different objectives. One is to just reach as many people as possible. Middle is to just nurture the audience. And 3 is to basically convert them into a sale.
So your main piece of content, let's just go with Instagram, just help the viewers visualize. It would be a reel, or it would be a carousel, or it would be just a static post on your Instagram profile. And in that section is where you're wanting to be as broad with your message to get the traffic coming in.
So that'd be more of the top. And typically Reels do the best job of that. Reels get the most push.
Why do Reels get the best push versus a carousel or a static post?
So a couple of years ago, 2, maybe 3 years ago now, especially because of COVID when everyone was locked down and TikTok just blew up, the content space changed a little bit, and people went from, I guess, carousels and like mix of this, mix of that, to just focusing on Reels because that's what was being consumed. So as a platform, Instagram was competing with TikTok. Instagram was also competing with Facebook, competing with all the other platforms. But TikTok just blew up and got a lot of popularity because the content which people were creating was very short, very fast-paced, very engaging. And it was created to get as much people attention as possible. And any new creator who jumped on the platform was able to grow very quickly because TikTok favored that. So they didn't have many ads on the platform. They didn't have. They had a lot of creators, and if they want creators to come to the page and actually grow, they have to help them grow. They have to help them reach. They push their content heaps. So they got a lot of views, a lot of growth, a lot of followers, all that. So people blew up overnight on TikTok. Right. So Instagram had to compete with that. So they switched to short form content because the market was telling them this is what people was consuming. This is what they want to see. Short, sharp, fast, easy to consume because it goes, people scroll through, consume. The purpose of that is because as a business, whatever platform it is, they want as many people on their platform for as long as period of time because Instagram makes money from advertisement revenue. So the more people spend time on Instagram, the more people consume the content, more ads get viewed, the more money Instagram makes.
Is that still the case today though? Because we're far past that point, or are others doing something differently to help increase their reach with Reels? Because you see some accounts and they have a relatively similar count of followers, but you got one account that's getting 5,000 views per post, and then you have another account that's getting 500. So what's the difference? Is it the time that they're posting, the date, the music that they're using, the hook, the entertainment value? How do you differentiate a strong reel versus a weak?
Combination of it all. Tara from the Algorithm Advantage, she probably best analogy for this. I heard it and That's brilliant. She talks about like a symphony. So all these little bits and pieces, like individually they have to be strong, but as a unity, it just creates a symphony of an orchestra where it just has a harmony to it, where it just goes further. But yes, you do need a strong hook, and that's probably the most important part of a reel. You also need there's also a visual hook and also a caption hook, and they all work to actually get people's attention, hold people's attention. The caption hook will only be triggered, or only be people only see it when the first two are triggered, and people stay and consume the content. So then you've got to have a strong hook. You've got to have the body of the content, give value, and provide some kind of entertainment value to the person consuming it. It's also the audio, the obviously the video in the background, the B-roll, or whatever, however you're filming it.
Yep.
It all contributes to the sum of the parts, and it also has to be on brand. So some people will just become so well known for their content or their face being on a page that you will see that person's face and you go, I know exactly what they're going to be posting. I know what they're talking about. I know it's going to be valuable, and you go consume it. So same thing with like Alex Hormozy. Like we were speaking about this yesterday. When Alex Hormozy releases something, it's going to have a lot of value. So as soon as he drops something, you're going to be consuming it because, okay, I need to listen to what he has to say because I know it's going to provide me value and things like that. So I listened to some other creator a while ago, and his success was contributed to, he tries to provide $5 of value in each piece of content he creates. So it's equivalent of getting $5 worth of value in his content. So you end up wanting to watch his content. It's short, it's sharp, it's fast-paced, but it's engaging and it's got value to it. So it's all those little bits and pieces which contribute. Now, when you're asking, are we far past that point of reels being the only thing which drives the factor? Obviously, they've toned down from that since that day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way that people consume content will always dictate how well posts go.
Yeah, of course. Do you think that there was a time in social media where everyone was starting to look the same, everyone was showing up online, and it was very superficial as opposed to value-driven content that was informative and actually allowing you to walk away having gained or learnt something? Do you think that's starting to shift and people are no longer just drawn to someone's highlight reel, but now they're wanting something more as well? That looks great, but I need something more. I can't just look at something that looks shiny and polished. I need to be walking away having learnt something. And do you think that's creating more competition in the market? Or do you think that we're all now starting to look the same and talk the same? And how do you stand out against all that noise?
So it's definitely a thing where I think everyone was trying to be so aesthetic and having to be completely polished. Again, I don't think they restricted people's growth or reach back in the day, because I know girls would do this. They would post something. If you didn't get a certain amount of likes within the first 5-10 minutes, they'll take it down, repost it straight away to get the number of likes, get the reach, and I'd go, okay, that didn't work, just do it again.
Yeah.
And it's viewed as spam, and they'd be like with chat groups within them, so their own kind of circle of friends. And you'd go to a post, and there's all of a sudden, someone would post, and within the first 30 seconds, 20 comments. And it's, oh my God, gorgeous babe, yes, no, whatever.
Yeah.
So I definitely know what you're talking about. It's like you look at someone's post, this is full of shit. Like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
I definitely think there is a trend now where you are seeing behind the scenes of the polished pieces of content. Because I saw it last night where this guy was giving free legal advice on the side of the road because he's, let's say, I'll give back to the community. Obviously, he's probably got a page. I didn't look at the rest of this page, but he's probably got a page where he does give free legal advice or talks about certain topics in the legal sphere. But this is behind the scenes of someone interrupting him when he was trying to give some legal advice to a white person one-on-one. And he's like, how entitled are you to feel this way, to come up to me and interrupt what I'm doing with this person right here? This is how I'm giving back to the community. So you have to see the behind the scenes of that as well, of what he goes through. And it's also, I think, people now are consuming more raw kind of content where it's just kind of like someone maybe just holding the camera to their face and going, hey, what's up, guys? This is my actual life. This is what's going on. This and that, the other. But that's more like a macro trend. You'll see, like, one of the things like with content and creation is you'll have things which work for you and like your kind of bread and butter, so to speak. Yeah. And you got to always try different things. Even what's his name, Gary Vaynerchuk says, always test, always try new things. When you find something which works, just literally stick to it and go do it. With when you were saying, do I find that we all sound the same? We do, because one of the best ways to get the kind of rapid growth is to replicate what's already working. Now, I'm not saying that what ends up happening is people just don't have that creativity where they kind of literally just copy everyone else's kind of content and they have no creativity to themselves. And they don't know how to create something original. But at the same, so it's great for very short-term kind of growth, but long-term, you need to figure out how to create content, something original for yourself, which breaks through the noise, that almost create your own circle of authority, so your own sphere, your own kind of engagement and things.
And what kind of environment do you think you need to be in to be able to find that? Is it disconnecting from the internet and disconnecting from the trends that are taking place in the world right now and really going into, I don't know, isolation almost? What do you need to do to be able to come back and be like, you know what, I'm going to do something very different, and with that, it's going to give me exponential growth?
I think you have to... So when I create content, I start off by agitating the problem and then start giving content to solve it. But I think it comes with authority and topic knowledge. So you have to have a deep understanding of the topic, content mastery, some phrase for that. When you have a deeper understanding of what, why, and how things work, then you can be a bit more authentic with your approach, because people will listen to you as to what has worked, what doesn't work. So when you're a small creator and you don't have much of a following and stuff, like I said, replicating and copying is the best way to do it. As you build that authority, as you build the skill set of creating content, writing captions, writing copy for content or for anything in general, then you can go off the beaten path and try new things and test. So you're always going to be testing in the space. You're always going to be needing to test what works, what doesn't work, against something which does work. So you got something which works, which you know works and can work. Test with something which doesn't, which is something new or doesn't work, or something which you've seen from a different creator. So you look for influence from other people, and then implement it into your own kind of sphere. Even myself, I can look at someone else's content in another space completely, or not space, but I've done this quite a few times, in another niche, and go, that message was really good, how they had the hook, this and that, the other. Let's take that and rewrite it for my own kind of audience and have something similar and replicate it, or not replicate, but change it up. But I think there's only probably a few trailblazers within this kind of space, and they're usually topic, or the authorities in the topic, like Mr. Beast, Alex Hormozy, like big people who have actually accomplished a lot within the space itself, and they actually know, they have the ability to try and test things without damaging their brand too much, because if a reel doesn't do well for one set, they're like, okay, that didn't work, I can just go back to what I was doing originally. I've still got my reputation intact, everyone knows who I am, and then everyone knows what I provide. Just do more of what was working beforehand.
So at what point do you think that you've placed yourself in that position to be able to do that? Or is that different for everyone?
I think it's different for everybody. And everyone also has a different level of confidence about when they start doing that. It's one thing, I guess, with the digital marketing space. People start, and within 2-3 weeks, they're like, oh, I'm offering mentorships. What are you mentoring? I don't think you even know how to mentor what even works for yourself. I look at your views, you got 200 views. What are you mentoring? Who are you mentoring?
Do you think that you can be tapping into your past experience prior to coming in this space, so people know that you may not have the strong following, you may not have the strong views, but you've got decades of experience having worked in this space? How does that person start showing up and really start tapping into, haven't done anything in this account, but I have decades upon decades of experience that we can tap into, that's going to allow you to get to where it is that you want to be? Yeah.
I think with the online space, you understand the market you're going into. So with anything, like if I was a mechanic, I can't, like if I was going into the mechanic space, and I've been there for say 2-3 weeks or for a month, I can't really give too much mentorship on to someone who's just coming in. I might have some kind of level of skill. I can't necessarily bring other outside experiences into the mechanic space, because it's just a mismatch of skills. It's a different skill set. So I get what you mean. You definitely can have outside experiences which you can mentor on. But I think it needs to be relevant to the skill set you're trying to mentor on as well. So with digital marketing, one of the skills is content creation, copywriting for content, and sales conversions. Now, to get sales, you need to have an audience. So that comes with content creation. So you really got to master the content creation first before you get anything else. And I was saying to you yesterday, I'm a hopeless salesperson, but because I can get such a huge reach, I still get sales. You can be the worst salesperson, but because I've mastered content and get like a million views or a million people reached in a month, I will still get sales down the line because, okay, I can tell you exactly how to grow or how to get reach with your content. Now, obviously, the sales process I've developed and turned that into a skill itself.
Yeah.
But I think when you take outside or past experiences into the space, it needs to be talking on a topic that is relevant to that.
Yeah, of course. Have you ever been in a position throughout your journey where you felt completely out of alignment with where you wanted to go, what it is that you were doing? And how did you get yourself back into that? We haven't touched upon it briefly.
I think I view things very differently from most people. I want this result. I will do whatever it takes to get that result. What do I need to learn? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to put myself around? How much effort do I need to put in? And I'll just work my ass off. Literally last night I went to bed at 12:31 in the morning because I was editing videos for the course I'm creating. And that's part of the game. Some people aren't willing to go above and beyond to get the result they want. They want the result, but they're not willing to learn or apply themselves to get the end result as well. So I think I've been very fortunate that I've had or developed a mindset where this is what I want. I will do what's necessary, what's required of me to be able to get that result. And I'll just go for it. I'll say no to it so much to be able to get that result. Like I had to stop spending money on myself for 6 months to be able to get one of my loans for my properties.
Really interesting that you've just touched upon that. What sacrifices did you have to make that people don't often talk about?
Yeah. So with me moving back to leaving my job and stuff, because I had everything financially for my family was back on my backing. To get one of the loans, I had to have stopped spending money on going out and things like that for 3 to 6 months. So I had to literally drop all my expenses to literally zero to be able to get a loan across the line. So I've spent 12 years working away from family and friends. I lost friendships. I lost relationships because of it. I put myself and my goals above a lot. So I have sacrificed a lot. It's okay, this is what I want. I need to do these steps in order to get that. I will put myself at a hindrance, even health-wise. I wouldn't say health-wise. Like I wouldn't buy the best quality, like organic this or prime this, whatever, if it means I'm going to be at a loss financially while I'm still trying to set myself up. So I would sacrifice the best quality to get myself ahead or put myself in a position where I can actually do more.
Yeah.
I would read textbooks, I would study, I would learn constantly. Oh God, I was reading a new book every week at one stage.
What was that like though on your growth journey? Because this is the part that I'm really struggling with at the moment. You look at your life, you can see how it's changing, and you look back and you're like, do you know what? I'm no longer that girl anymore. I'm no longer the girl that used to go to those places, hang out with those people, be into those conversations and have those interests. She's gone. But I'm not the person that I'm trying to become. I know that I will become and that I'm growing into. That person is several years away from me reaching. And you're somewhere in the middle and you're looking around and it's fucking lonely.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's a personal thing. Now, I guess I'm very fortunate because of the environment I was brought up in where a lot of people knew were quite successful, having dropped off and then come back up. A lot of the connections and a lot of people I knew are still very successful. I've got one of my friends, he builds race car engines. One of my other friends, he just created a new company. It was, I think, third on the AFR Startups of the Year. I got friends who have, well, same friend actually, he's the director of a movie. I got a very interesting network of friends and people around me of entrepreneurs, successful people, and just always driving me. And I tend to always ask myself, what do I want more? Do I want to have this kind of this moment of fun or whatever now, or do I want what I'm really after? Like, what do I want more? Now, obviously, there are times where it's like I need to switch off and go wild kind of thing, which I came off just recently. And it's like now it's okay, remind myself, what do I want? How bad do I want it? Because I
It
always
sounds
say,
like you've already got these people around you though. So it sounds like you're at that. You're not in between.
yeah.
You've
Honestly, for 12 years, I was in it. Like I said, I lost friends. I remember one night I was sitting at coffee with a group of friends, and they were giving me crap in a bit of a disrespectful way. I'm like, guys, stop! Like, putting out my boundaries. Like, guys, stop! I kept going, guys, seriously, drop it. You're being very disrespectful to me in the broader scheme of things.
Yeah.
Drop it. Okay, I'm like, literally looked around. Nope, got up and walked off. I never spoke to him again. Even I had in my past, I was gambling a fair bit, and I was literally at the casino every day of the week. And so, Togi, move over. I'm stepping up again because I was that guy. I literally walked in. It was the middle of the day, maybe 1 in the afternoon, and I had read a quote online saying, "You are the 5 people you spend the most time with."
Yeah.
And I was sitting at the blackjack table, and obviously there was 5 of us on the table. Look to my left, look to my right. These guys are losers. Like, I don't want to be these people. If there's a few other 5, some of the 5 people you spend your time with,
Yeah.
and these guys are
The 5 people.
these are for the 5 people, I go, nope. I literally got up, I cashed my chips in. I don't know if I won or lost. I got up and walked off.
So then how do you make friends with other entrepreneurs and other people that are successful? Because you can go out, and even though making friends later in life as an adult is challenging, it's not as challenging making friends with just anyone as it is, not just anyone, but just normal, ordinary folk that are happy just living the basic life. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But I'm saying if you are looking for something a little more than that, and say the example that you gave earlier is that doesn't sound like your friends are the ordinary people if you're saying they're directors and entrepreneurs and inventors of various things in various industries.
Yeah.
How do you surround yourself with people like that? And how do you have access to people like that? Because that's not easy. That's not an easy thing to...
So I didn't always have access to them, or for a period of time I didn't have access to them, so I had to rebuild those connections. But one of the ways you can probably do it is there are entrepreneurial meetups. There is an app called Meetup you can use to engage with people.
Yeah.
And I tell those people all the time as well, we are living in a time where we're quite fortunate because of the internet. We can connect with entrepreneurs wherever. Like even at Christmas time, one of the girls I was speaking to on the digital marketing space, she's like, I live in Brisbane. I'm on the Gold Coast. I'm like, okay, so I'll come down one weekend. Let's grab a bite to eat. I'm like, sure, let's do it. So she came down. We grabbed lunch, had a couple of drinks, and had a chat. I explained my story. She told me her story. Went through it. I think as well, there are certain kind of locations or places where more affluent people go to. I think that Mangazi even said a while ago, he used to go to the hotel lobbies of 5-star hotels because the kind of people that go there are typically better off, but more well-to-do, like more affluent. So there are places where you can go where there are people around. And I start talking to people next to me, like, oh, hey man, what's going on? Like, how's your night? Whatever, this and that, the other. I was, oh, what do you do? And start engaging, networking.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of our generation that we know how to do that.
Yeah.
We were having this conversation yesterday where, now I'm not saying all younger people do this, but I think they might be a bit more closed off to interacting. Everything's on the screen, and they're always, even myself, like I'm always on my phone, always in my face, my screen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's very much a lot of posturing, a bit of fakeness to actually kind of break in sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's a kind of, I guess, an element of fake it till you make it where you can say, hey, I'm in this space here, or this is what I'm doing. Yeah. And you start engaging with these people and putting yourself in their kind of network, in their vicinity, so you can actually engage with them. Otherwise, if you go to, say, the local pub or the casino and sit in the pokies, you're not going to be meeting these entrepreneurs. You might meet one or two very randomly, but for the most part, these guys are they've got a night off, they're going to a slightly nicer place, like a nice restaurant or a nice restaurant bar.
Yeah.
They're going to places where other influencers are, or other kind of locations or cafes and things like that. They prioritize their health, they prioritize learning, they prioritize their connections as well. So that's one way which I view it, and I'm always trying to engage with those people. Mm-hmm. And I think because, well, like I've been fortunate now broken into that kind of network of people. One friend, and they're hanging out with another CEO, and they're hanging out with another CEO, and they're hanging out with another person. It can be very wild, like how close some networks are, and sometimes all it takes is being in the right place at the right time with the right people, and you just make those connections. So I guess you'd probably say putting yourself in the position where these people are. You don't have to go out and spend like thousands of dollars on bottle service and this and that and the other.
No.
You just grab a glass of water or something, walk around, chill out and just talk and say, hey.
What would you say a day in your life looks like? How do you get up in the morning? What do you do? How do you plan out your day?
I'm very routine, and it's to a T. You could literally say, look at your time watch and go, David will be here at this time of the day because he does the exact same thing every day. My day, I wake up and make my smoothie, and I'm literally within the first 15, 20 minutes of waking up, I'm out the door, off to get my morning coffee and walk along the beach to get in the sun, get a bit of exercise. And at the same time, I'm responding to DMs, having conversations, starting conversations. So I'm very much online, checking how things performed, how they could have done better, why didn't it perform, this and that and the other. And starting that process, and then spending my time during the day responding to people's DMs. Because I do digital marketing full time now.
Yeah.
It's basically like I might get a call from my mate saying, hey, do you want to grab a coffee? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can do that now.
Yeah, no worries. Like,
I don't have to ask anyone.
Like I said, at the moment I'm creating this course. So I was like, okay, my main focus is that. My friend was probably going to call me in the next 20 minutes or so and go, you want to grab a coffee, you want to grab lunch, or do you want to grab dinner tonight? I'll be like, dude, I can't right now. Like I've got so much work on. This is my priority. This is my focus.
Yeah.
But pretty much it's like, okay, wake up, do my DMs or respond to DMs and stuff, create the content for the afternoon, learn a few things, like update my skills, improve my skills. Or if it's something which I'm trying to really master, I will learn, relearn, relearn like the same piece of content until it's like almost automatic that I think about it.
How much of that actually feels like work and how much of that just feels like it's what you enjoy doing?
Both, and it's part of the process to me, I guess. Like same thing goes back to this is what I need to do to get the result. Do I want this result? Yes, okay, get it done. I've got a whiteboard behind me to my side over there. And one of my friends wrote on it, David just does it. So everyone goes like, how do you do it? I don't know, I just get it done.
Just do it. Would you say that you're living the statement if you, what's that famous quote? Find what it is that you love and you'll never have to work another day in your life. Would you say you're living true to that statement? Are you just doing because it's not really work that needs to be done. You're benefiting because you're growing, you're evolving, you're developing, your business is growing as a byproduct of that. So therefore it doesn't really feel like work per se. It is work, but it doesn't really feel like it. And that's why you're actioning it, you're doing it because it's part of who you become.
I do enjoy it. And also it allows me to do more of what I actually enjoy. So I love going out. I love going to, say, a restaurant, not getting nice food, having a few drinks on, like I say, a Friday and Saturday night. If I'm going to have a drink, at the moment, fitness goals are top couple of priorities. Okay, I want the body. I'll sacrifice everything to get the body. Like I don't care. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'll be out for a friend's birthday 2 years in a row. His girlfriend was like, I'm pissed off at you because it's your friend's birthday and you're not drinking. I don't care.
Okay.
Like, I've got a goal for my body. It takes priority over everything. I don't give a shit whose birthday it is.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's almost like a means to an end, so to speak.
Hey?
It's almost like becomes like a means to an end. This gets me that. So if more of this gets me more of that, I'm happy to do more of this because I want that.
Yeah.
So it seems to be like a self-positive feedback loop that just spirals upwards, so to speak.
So your mind over matter is very strong.
Yeah, very, very.
I've got a mission, I've got a goal, we're doing it. Emotions to the side, all systems, let's go. Wow. What's your star sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh, okay. They're a little more impulsive, but they can be. Then I guess it depends on your placement with your work. That's a conversation for another day. What limiting belief did you have to let go of to get to where you are now?
I was thinking about this the other day. So can this work? Can this work? Hang on a second. It is working.
So I feel like with entrepreneurship, my journey in it, even in the last business that I had, when I first stepped into it, there was so many shadows I needed to overcome. And I was like, what do you mean? I need to get better at that to get to that. I'm not ready for this. And it's like this journey of constant self-development, depending on how far you want to take the business. Like public speaking, shoot me, no chance. And now it's like, yeah, cool, no worries, I can do that. But it's like that realization and then having to strengthen that muscle to be able to take the business to where I wanted it to go. That's one example. What would you say it was for you? Because we've all got them, right?
I say sales and overcoming objections.
Okay.
Even now, this is something I'm definitely working on. I'm a very kind of passive person where if someone says no to me, I'm like, oh, no worries, cool. I step away and say, done, whatever, I'm not going to push it.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, okay, no, I've got to drop that and be a bit more assertive because like I know what I do and how I can help people does work. It's okay. They need help. They just have to get out of their way. They have to get out of their own fears to allow you to help them to get what they want as well. And there is obviously, sales, there is obviously a way of doing that without being too salesy or too forceful. But it's definitely something that I've had to work on more, say, in this last 6 months ago. Where it's like, okay, let's work on this because this is something I need to fix in my personal life. Because it's that first no, or that when they say no, it's like, is it really a no, or are they just are they just scared of something else, or like trying
how do you uncover that?
How can I get around that? That's definitely a skill in itself. I'm figuring all that out. Like it's something I'm working on developing further. Like it's something I want to be a lot better at.
Yeah.
So that's something I guess. What's that limiting belief? Probably a personal character trait.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to work on this. I need to improve on this personally.
Okay. What would you tell your past self before you took the leap and you got to where you are now?
Wow. Okay.
I'm jumping around here a bit.
That's all right.
Keeping you on your toes.
To my past self, get around better people.
Yeah.
Get around more people who are more proactive and intelligent. I was thinking about this the other day, because that's probably a great question. I wish, because I remember being younger, around 21, 22, 23, sitting at a cafe, and I told my mate going, I want to buy or open something to make more money. Like, I want to make more money. Like I said, my family quite wealthy. I could go to cafes all day, every day, go shopping all day, every day. But I'm like, okay, I'm not getting to where I want. Like, I want to get there fast. I want more. It was just always like an abundance kind of, I want more. It's like, how do I get that? It's like, what can I buy? What can I invest in? What can I do? And people who I guess where I was around at the time wasn't very entrepreneurial. So I didn't actually have that. So probably tell my past self, get around better people, get around more business-minded people, not just people who I enjoyed spending my time with.
Yeah, love that. Love that.
Yeah, people who actually challenge me to do better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it's like I mentioned earlier, if you're not in alignment with who you are and where you're going, you're not going to be on that path to find the right people that resonate with you and are going to help you get to where it is that you want to get to.
Sometimes you won't ever know where you're going to meet someone and what they actually do, but it's all about talking to the person next to you, starting a conversation. It's like, hey, how you going? What's good? What are you up to?
If you lost everything tomorrow, what's the first thing that you would do?
I was thinking about this before because I want to do a post on this, so I'll drop it here first before I post it. But depending on when this comes out, my post might already be up. Social media, a product I can resell, and having a skill in sales. So with social media, building an audience as quickly as possible. So it's understanding how to actually target your target audience in a way that gets them to engage and gets your content pushed very quickly. When you do that, you will just explode. You can grow quite quickly. Some people think, it takes a while to grow. I'm a new beginner. I'm only going to get a few hundred views, if that. You can start brand new and grow I grew a TikTok page to 1,000 followers in a week.
But do you think that the algorithm on TikTok is very different to the algorithm on Instagram? Instagram I think it was around March, maybe April this year, it changed. The algorithm changed. Like you were getting much higher views on Instagram Reels, and then bang, just like that, it was halfway through this first portion of the year, it shifted and everyone was talking about it. It affected all influencers. It wasn't just smaller accounts, it was all accounts collectively. So whereas TikTok, the algorithm, you can post something on there and you'll get a couple of thousand views or you get a couple of hundred really quickly. It's very different to get the reach on that platform. And that is still now to this day. So when it first came out, it was even easier.
They're definitely different platforms. So I always say TikTok's more outreach because it pushes your content to more people initially. It also how people use the platform. So you open up TikTok and you're already on the For You page. You're not on your friend's page. Whereas you go to Instagram, you open it up and it's a blend initially, more of who you're already following and content that you follow and engage with. And it starts introducing new people to you to follow and engage with. But at the same time, I don't create content for the algorithm. I create content for the person.
Yep.
So it doesn't rely on the algorithm as heavily.
Okay.
And like I said, that's how I grew to I think got 1,000 followers within the first week on TikTok. Like it was like 1,200, whatever it was. And like a few million reach in the first month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. The exact same content. Like I was posting on both TikTok and Instagram. At the same time on Instagram, it was actually, that's when it started ramping up as well. All because of the messaging, my content, and being able to engage and connect with people.
Okay.
So I kept the person at front and center.
Yep.
And as a result, it actually allowed me to grow.
Okay, cool. Interesting. Impressive. Because that's not an easy thing to do, to say the least. What do you think is the next thing for you that's outside of your comfort zone?
Put me on the spot.
Yes.
I don't know, like us.
What's the next thing that you think that you'd want to do? What's next on the cards?
I want to grow a lot more in a lot of other areas. Probably other personal life, probably grow in those areas, like that. But obviously, relationship wise, all that kind of stuff. Business wise, scaling. I don't know. I don't feel like it's outside my comfort zone, or if it is, I won't really know it until I'm actually in it. And then it's like once I'm in, it's okay. How do I get through it?
What's something about your journey that people would never have expected?
I don't know.
I
think that when I tell people like my family's been bankrupt before from 8 figures to zero, like, holy crap, that's like how do you like? It changes you as a person. Like you view things a bit differently, especially financially.
Yeah,
you understand. Like I know personally, I've been a bit more less risk averse in my investments and what I want to do.
Yeah,
Other things I want to make sure that certain things are in place before I actually do certain things. I want to make sure there's like a certain level of cash flow and a certain kind of level of cash in the bank, so to speak, before I actually make certain investments. Because I've seen how fast the tide can turn. When you're 20 grand a week in repayments, mortgages and stuff.
How do you overcome that? Like, how do you even?
You end up having a bit of an identity crisis, to be honest. I went from limos and bottle service and literally $6 million mansions to nothing. Like it was literally from say 1,000 square meter home to a home which was like 100 square meters.
Wow.
It's a shock to the system, to say the least. And
do you feel like if you've done it once, is it easier to do it again?
It is if you can go, okay, something screwed up, I screwed up, take accountability, learn from it, move forward.
Yeah.
When you can do that, it's definitely a lot easier to bounce back. I know some people like the other factors like wasn't as good, but yeah, there's something because then you go, okay, you have a greater sense of trust in yourself. Yeah. And I think it's like when you have certain skills in place, you're not scared of things. So when you don't have those skills, it's obviously a bit scary. So, oh my God, I lost X, Y, Z. How am I going to get it back? Okay, I start from zero again.
So when you say when you have those skills, what skills are they?
Like say content creation, sales, things that you can monetize quickly.
Yes, but we're talking about, so your family going bankrupt and going from 10 million to nothing overnight. How do you start again, A, but B, how do you stay committed to it? It's like, okay, I know I've got to start again. I've got to put in A, B, and C. I've got to work on that. But mentally, how do you stay committed to getting up in the morning even and showing up in the world? You've just lost 10 million.
Just does it.
You just do it. So it's just that mind over
matter. It's like, how bad do you want this? Like, do you want to stay in the position you're in?
Yeah.
Or do you want to try to move forward? I guess I remember like when it first happened, I was thinking of what to do or how I can move forward. I was literally be either laying in bed or laying on the couch and staring at the ceiling like, what and how am I going to get through this? Or what? It's like you keep ruminating on it, you keep pushing through it. Like it's something. I think you have to have it within you to actually be able to bounce back from it. Because it is a very big shock to the system.
I'm going to get up and I'm just going to do it. I know where I want to be. I know where I'm going, and everything else is background noise. Let's go, learn, do, and execute. But yeah, it's good. It's a very strong trait to have, not a very common one.
And you're like, oh, I can't do that. It's not like, okay, that's fine. You can't do it. Then accept that you can't do it.
Yeah.
Accept where you are.
Yeah.
But if you want to get to this next level,
be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself. Break through that. And it's happening as well. You set a new kind of standard for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can say have a bit more balance in life. Because you can convert it at a higher level or with a different set of skills.
Yeah.
It brings everything else up as well.
I
don't know. Sometimes I couldn't explain it. Even my friend goes, "How did you do it?" I don't know, dude. I just got it done. How could you drive back and forth to where I was working, which was 4 hours away, every weekend? Even some driving back hungover. How did you do it? I just got it done. I didn't ask myself how. I just got it done.
What's your why?
I think it was having had everything, being able to just go out and spend how much money I got a night out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Being able to go from cafe to cafe all day, every day. Being able to travel to Europe like every Australian winter. So I literally had a year-long summer kind of thing.
Yeah. You in Queensland, it's always a year-long summer. What are we talking about?
It's cold. If it's below 23 degrees, for me it's cold, and I'm like, get me the hell overseas. Like, get me overseas.
Okay.
It's having the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Like, having that freedom, that kind of, I can chill out. And if I want to wake up late, I can wake up late. If I want to go for a few drinks today, I can go for a few drinks. I can do it. It's on my terms. Whatever I want to do, I can go and do it. Without having to, I go, can I do this? Or can I do that? It's like, no, I'm off. See you later. Peace. I almost gave up one time because when I was working away, when things weren't working out the way I wanted, I wasn't able to move back. I'm like, okay, I've got to make a decision now. Am I just going to surrender and build a life here? Because I was always in between two places and it never felt settled. Okay, am I going to build something here?
Yeah.
Or am I going to get myself out of this place and get back to civilization, to the Gold Coast? It's okay, what do I want? And it's one of those switches. And then also my friend, on one of my birthdays, while I was quite intoxicated at the time, he goes, dude, you keep saying you want to move back, this and then the other, but you're out every weekend, you're out drinking, partying. So how bad do you really want it? I'm like, this is actually on my birthday. I'm going, yeah, okay, that's a very valid point. It is true to the core. I think I've been fortunate that I've had a few honest people around me as well, and they put things into perspective, and it's okay.
Most people don't have that. Most people get the encouragement to live life according to whatever is within reach for them, which is, again, that's why it's so important to be surrounded by the right people, because you see it, man. You really do see how it can influence you. And even if you're very strong-minded, it still gets you. It just takes longer to get you.
It's like I said, sometimes I fall off from that as well. Like when I'll fall backwards, but I think because I've got the skill now, or the mindset and the determination, that it's like I can bounce back very quickly. I'll come across, I'll say a couple months ago, I had a bit of relationship fallout with someone.
Yeah.
Started going out a bit more and enjoying myself a bit more. Then I went on a date with this one girl, and I was like, I said, yeah. I was kind of like a yes moment. I was like, okay, she's up here. I'm still only here. I need to get back into the game. I got to switch back on. I literally on the spot, I was like, yep, I got to say no to those, to that, and yes to all this stuff, and bang, straight back into it. And same thing, like when I said I got up from my friends and walked away, at the same time when I was at the casino, it's literally, so it happened in an instant where you just go, this isn't what I want. I need to realign, shift, go. And
that's good.
I used to fall asleep some nights when I was trading Forex for a while, because I was always searching for some way to make money. I would go to bed at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, get up at 6 and go to work and treat people all day.
On that note, we're done.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.